1FM. San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
After winning their 8th straight over the weekend, the San Antonio Spurs are going to look to remain undefeated as they continue the Rodeo Road Trip. Tonight, as they're in Detroit to take on the Pistons, tip-off coming up shortly. In the NFL, the Cowboys got a deal done with running back Javonte Williams, 3 years, $24 million, 16 guaranteed. They're in talks with restricted free agent kicker Brandon Aubrey, and George Pickens likely to receive the franchise tag.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, gang? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate y'all riding along with me, however y'all may be joining. Whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening live at sasportstar.com via the AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching live on YouTube, that's right, we stream all of our shows on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search San Antonio Sports Star, SA Sports Star. You can like, subscribe, comment along with the show as it happens, or you can feel free to call in the old-fashioned way at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Always love having a conversation with y'all. And, man, the San Antonio Spurs, they are riding a heater right now. They have won 8 straight. They have not lost since going out on the Rodeo Road Trip. And they are looking at one of their bigger challenges tonight with the Detroit Pistons up in Detroit. And earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ previewing that matchup.
I wanted to get back into the Spurs. And did you take anything away from the Phoenix and Sacramento games, or did you just feel like those were
the practice games?
It felt like two teams that were just wildly overmatched.
Wildly overmatched. But when you're wildly overmatched, or you're playing a team that is very much lesser than you, you better blow them out. So, I mean, there's some positives to take away from your beating teams the way you should beat them, but you don't have there's no measuring stick. We've had 8 games of this. They haven't really faced any
It's been
kind
a while.
of adversity at all for a month. And the good news is everything's kind of clicking. I mean, everybody's healthy, and the trade is now done. Yeah, I expect to see Plumlee suited up here pretty quick. You couldn't be in a worse situation for sure. I mean, you could certainly have a whole lot of worse things as you're heading off to this next 2.5 weeks of getting on the road. So no, this is, I think the problem with the Spurs is they just haven't had that measuring stick, and they've got one tonight. It's just a matter of how they want to attack this. How hard and how bad do you want to go at it tonight? Is it worth a 40-minute effort of the 48? Is it worth that kind of hard work to go get it? And in the eyes of the fans, I'd like to see a Detroit win, and I know you're better than Toronto, and I certainly know you're better than Brooklyn. You got a comfortable lead over Houston. I mean, my gosh, 4 or 5 games over us in Denver and Houston. I mean, the Spurs are comfortably in second. I mean,
they're closer to Oklahoma City than they are to the 3 seed right now.
So you can sacrifice a game knowing full well I'm not losing control of my seeding. So, I think it's worthy of the effort. I'm just not sure how much effort we're going to see tonight. I'd like to think every game matters and everyone out, especially this road trip, but 8-game winning streak going up against the best team in the East who's coming off a pretty good win, and they're kind of rested, and you're going into their house, and you also know you're going to get them in 2.5 weeks at home.
The Pistons, the Spurs are the hottest team in the NBA right now. They've won 8 in a row. They've won 9 of their last 10. Detroit has won 5 in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They are the second hottest team in the NBA. This, on paper, this is a juggernaut match.
This is Michigan Duke on Saturday. I mean, this is the 2 very best going.
Yeah. And Media Bar Production said they already played a lot of great teams. They have. It's just in this stretch, they have not. This 8-game win streak, they've not really been tested at all.
None, really. This has been a track meet. We're putting 120 a night up on the board. I mean, they're putting points on the board, running and gunning. That's a good thing to do. You're doing things right, but you really haven't played a team that's going to defend you for 24 seconds.
And it's not to diminish the Spurs' schedule this season, because the Spurs beat full strength OKC early in the season. They've certainly done it, but in the last 8 games, they have played it. When they've played a good team, it's been a good team that was severely handicapped by something, and then or they've just played a flat out bad basketball team. And now, like you said, to their credit, they've made the bad teams look bad.
Yeah, you beat them by 10. Take them to the woodshed if that's the way they want to do it. But at some point, you're going to have to make some shots in some difficult situations, and you're going to have to sacrifice your body and do some things that maybe you didn't have to do for the last month. So you just wonder if it's worth the full expenditure of the effort, knowing what's in front of you. I think knowing that the whole world's going to be watching should be enough.
Here's why I think it's enough. I just mentioned it. The Spurs are closer to the Thunder than they are to the 3 seed.
When you look at the separation that they've achieved over this 10-game span, they're pulling away from the pack, man.
There is a world where the Spurs could finish ahead of the Thunder in the standings.
If Shea doesn't get healthy and stay healthy,
and they already own the tiebreaker.
But yeah, we do, but there's still a long way to go. Man.
Yes, but I'm just saying, if you're looking for a reason why they should be playing hard, to me, that's the reason.
Well, I mean, because you have that buffer, you can sacrifice a game because you do have that kind of league. Now, if it's neck and neck and you want to make sure you're in the chase, sometimes you overexert when you don't necessarily need to. And this is one of those where you're coasting along pretty good. You got a nice 5-game spread. Maybe you go hard, and if you have to sacrifice a game or two next, it's okay. We know we're better than Toronto. That kind of stuff.
There's not a lot of games left on the schedule that I think are measuring stick games for the Spurs, and this is one of them. And I want to know where they stand right now against another premium team. And I think the Pistons, the Pistons and Spurs are very mirror-like. Both these teams were awful for the last several years and have kind of figured it out. We saw
changing the rules because of the way the Spurs and the Pistons. We saw baby steps for both teams last year, and now they've both turned into, quite frankly, this is the number 2 and number 3 team in the NBA right now. And we've had it easy. The Pistons, think about it, they had Monty Williams there for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, they're juggling coaches
him out and kind of reevaluated the way they were drafting, and some high-end picks are gone now. So they had to kind of refine who they were. They've had a much more difficult road. Cade Cunningham has had to go through some stuff to become the MVP candidate that he is. It hadn't been easy for him at all.
Yeah, and he continues to get more and more hype as an MVP candidate.
Right now, I think he's odds on.
It can't be.
If they win tonight, he's right up there, man. He made a valid. What did he get? 48 the other night. He's
current odds. Shea is still the favorite, -140. Jokic 3-1. Cade Cunningham +550.
There it is.
Wemby 25-1 is your 4th favorite. LeBron was saying that he thinks that the case should be made for Jaylen Brown, which I'm not sure why Jaylen Brown's not getting more discussion as an MVP candidate.
I think he will, if they keep doing what they're doing.
To be 40-1 when you're the perceived best player. I'm starting to think Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum, by the way. I'm
not going to go that far. I think they're both very, very good. But I will say, if you can't talk about Joe Mazzulla as a Coach of the Year candidate and not have Jaylen Brown as an MVP candidate,
feels weird.
You can't do one and not the other.
Yeah. So, but I do think it's Shea, Jokic, or Cunningham. It's one of those 3 guys. Jokic is the best player in the world. You could give it to him every year, pretty much. It feels like.
I think Jokic is going to face this uphill battle, not because he doesn't deserve it and isn't considered the best, probably. It's if he gets another MVP, we're putting him on Jordan level stuff.
Yeah.
And are we ready to do that yet?
Yeah. Well, and they would also have to make a decision on Shea. Once a guy wins a second MVP, you're in a different class.
And he's going to have to play some serious basketball games.
Oh, yeah.
But the good news is his absence has proven his value because when he's not there, they're terrible.
He was at like minus 600 or something at one point, and as he's missed games, which, like you said, his value, like him being gone is showing his value because the Thunder they're not the Thunder without him.
They're not, but it doesn't matter because if the Spurs can get to that number 1 seed, it means a whole lot of things for a whole lot of people. For the Spurs, it means probably one of the better paths in the playoffs moving forward. You look at what it means for Wemby. He would be up for multiple postseason accolades if the Spurs jump all the way from not making the playoffs, play-in, or anything else to number 1 seed in one off season. And of course, Keldon Johnson is a potential 6th man of the year candidate. I mean, it would mean a lot of things for a lot of people, but mainly it just means the growth of the Spurs and the ability to stay on the path that they're on and not shake things up too greatly by going to acquire that Giannis Antetokounmpo or the other big names that may have been available to you in the trade deadline or in the off season or any of those things. This is a team that is built correctly, that is growing correctly. And now you may have another very top pick with Atlanta as this season continues to grow on. So owning that pick swap coming forward is massive. So it's going to be very interesting to kind of see how the end of this season plays out for the San Antonio Spurs, but more importantly, how they approach the end of the season. And right now they're approaching things in the right manner. And now I just want to see them continue to play up to and surpass the level of some of the better teams in the NBA, because I do feel like this is a team that not only can make a run, but given the right matchups and opportunity could go to the finals, and they could break down the door a lot earlier than any of us expected. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's also NFL Scouting Combine, where a lot of news surrounding the NBA starts to leak out. And what could some of that news be? Well, looks a lot like George Pickens is going to be dealing with the franchise tag this year. Other than that, there are a lot of people that could be looking for new homes as we get closer and closer to the start of free agency. We'll let you know who some of those are as we come up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs were back on the road in Detroit. How did our boys do out in the Motor City?
A lot of underwear to talk about. That's right. We got the Combine coming up this week. We'll look at who's going and who's going to get drafted. Lots to talk about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm going to make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on up. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. I love numbers. Like 100, as in 100%, as in TaxSlayer's 100% accuracy, guaranteed. And 0, as in $0, as in it costs $0 to file and get the refund you deserve with TaxSlayer Simply Free, if you qualify. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers with age, income, credit, and deduction restrictions. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility requirements. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Shun Club, PPL Motorhomes, and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your team, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com.
Welcome back to Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all rolling through with me tonight as the Spurs off to a super hot start out there in Detroit. 3 for 3 from Devin Vassell. He has 9 of the Spurs' 11 points as they lead 11-2 with 9:31 remaining in the first quarter. This NFL, well, they are all at the NFL Scouting Combine, and Stephen Jones, one of the people there, lots of work gets done around the Scouting Combines where agents and GMs and everyone meet and kind of start coming together on terms. We already saw something with Javonte Williams. Will we see something with Brandon Aubrey and or George Pickens? Well, Stephen Jones was talking about that.
I mean, obviously, we just finished up Javonte. He'd been in talks with Aubrey for, even before the season started. So, that's been a journey. And, but we hadn't been able to get to, a point where we can all agree. So, hadn't gotten done, but we'd love to get him done. And then Pickens, of course, leaning toward the franchise tag. We'll finalize that here over the coming week or 10 days, and then we'll go from there.
Leaning towards the franchise tag. We'll do that here in the next 7 to 10 days. Cool. That kind of tells you where they're going with George Pickens and how close they are on their sides and if they've even talked, because we know how Jerry is with talking to agents and especially that of David Mulligetta. But does putting the franchise tag on George Pickens prohibit them from doing the things that they want to do in free agency?
It crosses your mind. I mean, a lot of guys who we've tagged, participated in everything. Dak leading the way. He played under 2 of them, so he never missed anything. Hopefully that'll be the case here.
Would it be advantageous to get it done before July? I'm talking about Pickens.
I wouldn't put any time frame.
But considering
once you have a tag, and we know George is going to be here, and that's where we are.
Is there a downside to the tag, whether it's $28 million or whatever the number is?
Nope.
Flatly
We know what it is.
So you can still shop and do everything.
We can do everything we need to do.
Yeah.
Do everything that they need to do, which is great because they need to approach free agency the same way they've approached the rest of this offseason. Differently than how they've handled it in the past. And it sounds like outside of the George Pickens thing, they are going to be handling things a little bit differently this offseason. But what about the rest of the NFL? Because the Dallas Cowboys are one entity, but there are a lot of other deals and maybe potentially some other big players could become available, whether that be a trade or release this coming off season. Earlier today on the Blitz, Joe Ryangle was talking about that.
George Pickens is the number one free agent according to ESPN. So I guess he would be the guy. That's why the Cowboys are going to franchise tag this dude. They're going to do that, and they'll do it here within the next week or so. And then if we'll find out what their plans are with him. We'll hear from Stephen Jones coming up a little bit later in the show. But it sounds to me like they're going to let him play on the franchise tag, which is interesting and certainly will be interesting, but not sure. A lot of other guys on there too, and there's been a lot of reports about trades. Myles Garrett perhaps being on the trade block with the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, we talk a lot about Max Crosby, and there's a lot of teams and a lot of bigger names that could be on the move. It's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting offseason. I mean, I think, and they all are in their own way, obviously, but this year, I think, has the potential to really be, some fireworks. Because with guys demanding trades, with some guys that may just want to move on and try to get a championship before their career is over, like a Myles Garrett, that could be a possibility. Now, it's not ESPN, and I apologize. It's Pro Football Talk who's got this top 100 free agent. Pickens is at the top. Daniel Jones, the Colts quarterback, is rated number 2. And I guess I could see that, but keep in mind, he got hurt pretty badly last year and is going to be out, and the start of the season could be up in the air for him. But I think, props to him. He actually earned that title. I mean, Pro Football Talk says you're number 2 free agent, and I guess it's maybe because he's a quarterback. But I don't see the Colts letting him get away. Because I don't think Anthony Richardson is the guy. I think they kind of admitted that might have been a mistake on their part, at least for now. And Anthony Richardson could get better with depending on what team that he goes to. Trey Hendrickson, Bengals edge rusher, is at number 5. Now the Falcons, they have Falcons Kyle Pitts at number 6, but it's been reported already that Atlanta is going to franchise tag Kyle Pitts. So he's going to be off the market, at least for now, and Atlanta's going to hang on to him. Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce is number 7. Breece Hall, Jets running back, is in at number 9. And I find that interesting because I don't think there's any way, shape, or form the Jets are going to let Breece Hall go anywhere. I mean, when you think about the Jets, and I honestly believe, and they're cursed, obviously. I mean, they're just cursed. They're never any good. But I think they've got some players, and all they really lack at this point in time, in my mind, is a quarterback, somebody that can get the football to all those the talented players that they have. I think offensively and defensively, they're not that far away. I'm not saying they're championship contenders, but they're not that far away, which brings us to the number 10 guy on this list who's getting a lot of attention. Packers backup quarterback Malik Willis. And you talk about a guy that's worked his tail off. When the Titans drafted this guy, I mean, he did not look good his first year. He looked lost. He looked all of these things. But this guy has worked his tail off, and he has improved. And when Jordan Love went down for the Packers, that team didn't miss a beat with Willis under center. This guy's going to have his choice of where he wants to go. And one of those places could very well be the Miami Dolphins. There's a story out today, several different websites reporting this, that the Dolphins are expected to part ways with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa before the start of the season. The one thing about that, you talk about admitting a mistake. I mean, you've just paid this guy. And that's why I wonder sometimes when we rush to pay people. The Houston Texans will have that choice to make this offseason. Do you pay C.J. Stroud early, or do you let him finish his rookie deal?
Depends. Do you save money?
Well, I don't
because he's not playing
well. I
well.
don't know. I heard a report that they're going to offer him somewhere in the neighborhood of $62 million a year.
I don't think it's that, but if I can get him for like 52 to 55 now locked in,
perhaps that's what they did with Tua, and thinking he was the guy. And obviously now they're going to let him go. And you talk about a cap hit. The cap hit for the Dolphins is going to be astronomical because they just signed him to a new deal. If they release Tua and make it a post-June 1 designation, it's going to trigger a $99.2 million dead cap hit. And that potentially is the largest in NFL history. If it is a post-June 1 strategy, then they get that down a little bit and they're able to split it. So I have to figure if they're going to release this guy, they're going to do it this way. It would cost them $67.4 this year and $31.8 in 2027. Either way, the Dolphins are going to be stuck. But look, the Denver Broncos did the same thing with Russell Wilson, and it turned out okay for them. They managed to manage the salary cap and still have, a hell of a team. They got to the AFC Championship game. I think Bo Nix has been a nice surprise, and keep in mind, he is still on a rookie deal. So where would Tua end up, if anywhere? I guess you got to figure this guy would go somewhere with everybody that's desperate for a quarterback. And I mentioned Malik Willis. The team that I see with him the most has been the Arizona Cardinals. But I think Willis is going to have his opportunity and his choice. That if he doesn't particularly like the coach or like the setup at Arizona, I don't know, maybe it is Miami. Maybe it's Pittsburgh. Do you go there? I don't think Willis has to sit behind anybody. And if they're truly romancing Aaron Rodgers for whatever reason to bring him back, then I don't think Willis would want to go to Pittsburgh. And they do have a quarterback there that is a guy that they drafted last year. So it's going to be interesting to see. But some of these teams just admitting mistake and eating the money because, well, they don't have any other choice and they don't want to deal with this guy anymore. And it's sad that Tua has been that way. And I'll be honest with you, man, I'm surprised Tua has lasted this long. When he came out of Alabama, and I'll never forget it, I put it on my wall at Ken's TV right behind me on a sticky note. I said, Tua is going to be a bust in the NFL. Well, it took a while to get there, and maybe he will be better. It's always possible. You get with the right team. You've seen it happen.
Sam
Darnold, Baker Mayfield. You're seeing some of these guys that get to teams in the right situation. And not only that, Pledge, but I think just maturing.
And the right coaching.
Well, that too.
I think coaching is severely underrated.
I think you're right. It's interesting that you say that. I just saw something on ESPN that Cliff Kingsbury now, and I don't know if he's always been this, but it sounded like, just according to what I can see from ESPN, has been elevated to assistant head coach with the Rams. So interesting, and maybe Cliff gets another opportunity to be a head coach somewhere at some point in time, and maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just a better coordinator, just an offensive guru that can help out in that respect. Although Sean McVay's pretty good offensive guru himself until he's in the NFC Championship game. Well, and then he wasn't so good. Yeah, he got out-coached in that particular one.
A little bit.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't the year before, though?
No, he didn't.
They just got beat.
Mike Evans is a free agent. Tampa Bay Bucks. I wonder if he'll go somewhere else. Stay in Tampa Bay. He's been with Tampa his entire career. So does he stay there for less money, or do they pay the guy? It's interesting to see. I think Evans still has a little bit of juice left in him.
But how much?
Well, that's a good question. And he was injured quite a bit.
I think, and the injuries are starting to pile up on him.
Yeah.
And
somebody will get him.
I'd be scared to give a bunch of money to him, even on a short 2-year deal.
I don't think I'd give a bunch of money to him. So it'd be interesting somebody, I think if you're talking about a guy like Mike Evans who can come in, especially if you have a young quarterback, Mike Evans could be just a valuable piece to what you're doing just to help out that young quarterback. Las Vegas Raiders, for example. Mike Evans with Mendoza going there, I think would be a valuable tool for him. Going to be interesting to see. if Tampa Bay lets him go, and he may not want to go.
But is he chasing a ring for like Buffalo or something?
Well, he could be, although he's got a ring. Got that with Tom Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got one. But, yeah, we'll see. And a lot of these guys that are older and that are free agents, you got to be looking there. You have to be.
Checks or money?
Well,
what do you prefer?
At this point in time, you're talking about rings or money?
Oh, yeah, I mean, because every player's different and what their priorities are different.
True.
Some people are chasing the bag. Some people are chasing a legacy.
I don't think, if I'm Mike Evans, I know I'm not going to get a bag. Now I'll get something because I'm a vet, and it, I mean, I say nothing. I mean, to you and me, Pledge would be like, woo-wee!
But would you rather have 10 to 15 million per year for 2 years, or would you rather go try and win a ring for like 5 to 8?
I think if you're an older vet like Mike Evans, you want to go win a ring.
I don't know, 15 million's a lot.
Well, sure it is, but I mean, what do you want to go play for the Jets? I mean,
I don't know, the Raiders. You making that sound appealing?
Well, and I think, well, I don't think the Raiders are that far back.
I mean, that's a really tough division they're in.
Well, absolutely tough.
Denver, Kansas City, and Chargers all looking down at you.
Well, yeah, but again, I don't think it would take that long for them to be competitive.
Sure.
If Mendoza pans out, because it looks like they're going to release Geno Smith.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they might keep him just with the young quarterback coming in to have a voice in the room like that, a teacher, if you will. But it sounds like that the Raiders are going to release Geno Smith. So it will be Mendoza's job day one when he gets in there. Another guy that I don't know if I would touch is Jawan Jennings. The guy's been hurt quite a bit. He doesn't want to be in San Francisco, so he's going to get the hell out of there. That's for sure. Deebo Samuel is a free agent. That was interesting to me. Didn't know that. Obviously, we've been talking about Reek Woolen. He's a free agent. Be interesting to see where he ends up.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be interesting. When Reek first got into the league, I mean, he was on fire, but he's kind of, not that he's, I don't know if step back is fair or not, but he's certainly not. He's kind of reminds me of a little bit of Trayvon Diggs, although a little bit better. Because with Trayvon's first year or two, he was fantastic. And so was Reek Woolen, but he's kind of quieted a little bit.
They have invested a lot of money and draft resources into that position, though, taking Witherspoon at the 6th overall pick a year ago, despite having Reek Woolen. Like they've really, really made some investments into their secondary.
It will be interesting. Does Tyreek Hill go back to Kansas City now that he is done with the Miami Dolphins, who, by the way, are just completely gutting their team and trying to start over, which is probably what they should do. Although, goodness gracious, Tyreek Hill kind of wore out his welcome in Miami, and I think they're happy to get rid of him. As we heard from the police officers.
There's a cop that was happy to get rid of him.
He was happy to get rid of him. I'm just looking for some other names here, and Jadeveon Clowney obviously is a free agent. It'd be interesting to see if the Cowboys bring him back and what the price on that would be. I think most Cowboy fans would like to have him back. Rico Dowdle.
Does Christian Parker want him back? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's it, and that's going to be a lot of it. Rico Dowdle is a free agent. I think he's done enough to earn something from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind.
In Houston. Yeah.
Houston needs a back to complement Woody Marks.
And you can probably get that done. I mean, what was Williams, $8 million a year, $16 million guaranteed. So
I think less than that.
You could probably get less than that. Probably could.
I would think.
Yeah.
But even then, if I'm Kansas City, can I find a cheaper back than having to blow draft resources on a Jeremiah Love?
It's just and again, you take them with a grain of salt, but just about every mock draft that I've seen has Kansas City taking that kid.
I just don't see it because they don't run the football and they don't care to run the football.
But I think with a Love, he's a dual guy.
Sure.
I mean, Mahomes can have him out of the backfield as well.
He's not Christian McCaffrey, but he's decent.
No. Well, look, and we'll see. He's a domer. All right. So that's a strike against him right there. But he is a talented guy that I think will improve. I mean, look, we all thought Ashton Genty was going to come in and set the world on fire.
Didn't do it.
And he didn't do it. So, again, the draft is such a
maybe Jadarian Price is the better of the two domers.
Maybe it could very well be. Again, the draft is such a crapshoot. It really is. It's a roll of the dice, and some of the guys you think are just going to be fantastic turn out to be nothing, and then we'll see. And then there's Travis Kelce, who.
What's he going to do?
Well, I don't know. And
it sounds like he's coming back.
Andy Reid sounds like he wants him back. And I don't know if this is out of respect or what. And maybe Kelce has some gas left in the tank. And look, I mean, Mahomes got hurt. That certainly didn't help Travis Kelce.
Isn't he like the third best tight end in football this year?
Yeah. You look at him and you think, man, he's falling. And then you look at his stats and you go, damn, where did those come from? It reminds me of Tim Duncan. Yeah, you'd be watching a Spurs game when Duncan was there, and you think, man, Timmy's having a so-so game. You look up, he's got 28 points. I'm going, what? Where the hell did those come from?
28 and 12.
I know. It's like, what? Where did those come from? Dude, that guy was so much fun to watch.
That's Kelce, though.
Yeah,
you just look up, and he's got like 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Well, that is all very true, and it's interesting. And so a lot of free agents out there. We'll see what happens with some of them. And then, of course, when we talk about the Cowboys, it's George Pickens. What are they going to do with him? Stephen Jones says, well, they're going to franchise tag him.
Likely. And could be a lot of movement this offseason with people being released, people being traded, and just free agency in general. Tyler Linderbaum's going to be a huge name that's on the market. Mays. I think it's going to be interesting to see where the money ends up going this offseason, because it usually gets dedicated to a position group each and every particular offseason, whether it's edge rushers or wide receivers or offensive linemen. Like, there's usually a designated, we're overpaying for this position this offseason. Which group is that going to be this year? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What's your prediction on who gets overpaid positionally the most this offseason? Love to hear your comments. Coming up next, though, the Cowboys, they actually did some work. They re-signed Javonte Williams. What does that mean as they move forward? Morning Huddle was talking about it. We'll bring it to you and get you ready for and keep you updated on what's happening with the Spurs, as it looks like Detroit weathered the early storm. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, has your back.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Ah, the most beautiful time of year is upon us. Tax season. And TaxSlayer is here to help you file. We guarantee 100% accuracy and your maximum refund. Those are some good numbers. And you can trust me because I'm a talking calculator. Did I mention TaxSlayer even has support from real US-based humans? If you have any questions along the way, beat the rush and start for free today. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Hey, it's time to shoot your shot on PrizePicks and get $50 instantly in lineups. It's easy to do when you play your first $5. That's right. PrizePicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play for your first $5. PrizePicks makes every dunk, every dime, every board that much more exciting. So don't miss the chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. PrizePicks. It's always so good to be right. I've played PrizePicks for years now. You know why? Because I can play my players the more or less, and I can combine my favorite sports, football, basketball, hockey. No matter what they can play, I can pick the more or less and get it down. And with a new feature alert, PrizePicks has early payouts. That's right. If your player gets off to a hot start, you know you have an option to cash out early. Get those winnings before the game even finishes. Find your community on PrizePicks. It's easy to find the social feeds. You can listen to those you trust or be the trusted. That's right. PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks today right now and use the code Alamo and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The big game's just around the corner. Remember the code Alamo and get $50 in lineups every time you play for the first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's so good to be right.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas. So you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, PPL Motorhomes, and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your team, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com. Check out The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Appreciate y'all riding along with me tonight. Current update, into the first quarter, Pistons have roared back to take the lead 27-24. Victor Wembanyama with 5 points. Devin Vassell still with 9, 3 of 4 from behind the arc now. Dylan Harper adding 3 as the Spurs currently trail by 3. Game on Peacock. If you want to check that out, some of y'all in the comment section already talking about it. Lots to get around to, especially when it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys, because this feels like a very different offseason for them. And by means of it, they managed to get something done they've been wanting to get done, and that is re-signing Javonte Williams. Was that mean bigger picture moving forward for the Dallas Cowboys as we head into the offseason and potentially free agency?
Little NFL news kind of flew under the radar for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's good news, actually. The guy went and they took a risk with each other. Both of them did. I mean, he was coming off a knee injury. We weren't sure. And the Cowboys were looking for something that they absolutely had to have. He was a predicate for what they wanted to do on offense, and it worked.
3 years, $16 million guaranteed. Total deal's worth $24 million, a $6 million signing bonus.
Gravy, man. What a great deal for both.
Now, I do think that his success if for those who don't know, Javonte Williams is who we're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess we didn't say it out loud, but yeah, Cowboys starting running back Javonte Williams, who had a good year last year, very good year.
And they got him for a little bit more than he's probably worth, but not much.
He signed a 3-year deal, a $3 million 1-year deal last year. I think he warranted a raise. The problem is this. Now it puts the pressure on them to sign Pickens, in my opinion,
or something of equal caliber.
Which there is nothing of equal caliber.
Well, whether they draft, they trade, they move, something, you're going to have another weapon. There's no question, because what's the best definition we heard from him? You need 5 yards, you're going to get 5. You need 10 yards, you're going to get 5.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing wrong with that. But he is not a game breaker, but he's a game sustainer, and you're going to have some guys to help.
They saw fewer heavy boxes than anyone in the NFL last year. And it's almost impossible to play a heavy box against the Cowboys because they've got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the outside. So you can't really commit to the run. So when you're going against a light box all the time, yeah, you could play pretty well. And I would imagine if CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are back, Javonte Williams, as good as he was last year, the Cowboys will still see a ton of light boxes because they would much rather lose to Javonte Williams than to those two receivers. But the Cowboys, the questions are they going to put the franchise tag on him, which would be $28 million, and then try to work out a deal? Or do they put that franchise tag on him, trade him, or do they let him walk away?
The last one is unfathomable.
Okay.
I just can't imagine them doing that, though. I said that about Sohan and the Spurs. So, given the modern economics, sometimes it's better just to wash your hands and let them walk away. But I can't imagine, given that kind of talent, that at the very minimum, a franchise tag is going to be placed. So that doesn't mean he'll be a Cowboy. But I think he'll franchise him. And really, I believe he'll be franchised for a year. They're gonna go one more try and let this Dak Prescott cap number shrink yet again for another year. And justify the Javonte signing by getting Pickens again. And there's not going to be a whole lot else other than the draft picks that are going to augment this team.
They gave up a 3rd and a 5th rounder to get Pickens. And if they were to franchise and trade him, they would get at least that back, probably better than that. So you probably upgrade what you paid for, and you got a year of him.
I don't see it. I've said it before. In good conscience, I just can't see paying him. I just can't. There are other needs. But when you look at what is required, if I feel like I can completely upgrade this defense, and it doesn't have to be great, it's just got to be average.
Yeah.
This defense doesn't have to be anything more than average. And if it's just going to be a chase to average, I got to have Pickens.
And as you continue to try to build on the defensive side, on Friday, the Cowboys waived Logan Wilson, who they traded for earlier in the season. They traded a 7th-round pick to Cincinnati for him. Remember, he was a captain in Cincinnati a year ago.
Yeah, but the moment, remember they tried to blow up that he came here because he knows the system. Well, the system sucked.
Yeah. Now, it did say the Cowboys stuck with Kenneth Murray instead of him, which you can argue that was a bit of a mistake.
Well,
I don't know. But what I do know is, as good as Logan Wilson could have been, it's not worth $6.5 million in salary cap to find out. So they're just going to kiss that 7th-round pick goodbye.
Just another goofy trade. That's what a goofy trade that was. You traded a 7th-round pick for a dude that couldn't even get on the field.
Yeah,
you just punted.
Although, listen, do I think he's better than Kenneth Murray? Yeah. Do I think that Matt Eberflus was loyal to his guys, no matter, even though it was clear that was a sinking ship? Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, and they're paying the price. Silliness. You shouldn't have been in this situation. Justify this is silly. Yeah.
Well, they did free up $6.5 million in cap space, which is basically what you're paying Javonte Williams. So, getting rid of Logan Wilson, there are positives to that. They're going to do some restructures. They're going to open up even more cap space. It's going to be interesting to see what all they can get done, whether it's Brandon Aubrey, George Pickens. I know I'm laughing as I say it, and what they can bring in free agency to help potentially solidify some of that linebacking core or secondary or maybe edge rusher. It's just Jalen Phillips is on the market. There's going to be some edge rushers that you could potentially get to where you don't have to stress when you get into the draft and feel pigeonholed into drafting. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We'll take another look at the Spurs game, get you all caught up to speed, and get you ready for a fantastic Monday night. That's coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action because you can make those picks and win money right now here in Texas. And it's so easy. You pick your favorite players. Are they going to go higher or lower on their stats? Points, rebounds, steals, three-pointers made, whatever it is, you get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. I'm still riding De'Aaron Fox. He's become a great part of this offense. Always a good look for higher with De'Aaron. Download the app today. Use my promo code Alamo. You'll get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Get in gear at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville, your 5-time dealer of the year. $13,000 off MSRP on new 2026 Silverado 1500s. 5.9% financing on new heavy duties for 84 months. Save $10,000 off MSRP on the 2026 Tahoe Premier. Ready to go electric? Get the 2026 Equinox EV with $13,000 off MSRP. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like payroll manager.
Hi, my last paycheck was all in Icelandic krona.
You are welcome.
Welcome?
Given the exchange rate between the dollar and the krona, you're technically a millionaire now. Don't spend it all in one place.
I can't really spend it anywhere.
There's always Iceland.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Empower.
Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move. So she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
94.1.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Currently 8:17 left in the second quarter. Pistons hold a 33-29 lead over the San Antonio Spurs. And a lot of it feels like, sounds like, looks like I've been monitoring physicality playing a huge role in what's going on early in this game. And we'll see what adjustments the Spurs have to make. This is currently 35-29. Devin Vassell still stuck on 9 points. Wemby with 5. Carter Bryant getting some early burn, 4 minutes. He's got 3 points. He's 1-1 from behind the arc. Keldon Johnson with 4 points. Dylan Harper still on the 3-point mark. And it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. The game of basketball is a game of ebbs and flows. And the fact that it's even close right now. We knew that Detroit was going to go on a run at some point, just like we knew Sacramento was going to get it close at some point in Austin over the weekend. They kept it close. and then the Spurs put their foot on the throttle late. This is basketball. It's the game of basketball. This is how it happens. There's always a run. Someone always gets closer than they should be, and then eventually the talent starts to win out. This is a very good team, though. So having the Pistons leading 35-29 right now, it's going to be very interesting to kind of see if the Spurs maintain this, keep it close, and find a way to win it at the end, because I do believe this is one of those games that we're all going to circle and look at the end of the season. It's a litmus test kind of game. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Appreciate y'all rolling through with me this evening. It's always a good time to have y'all in the chat, whether it is on X, YouTube, whatever it may be. And as always, check on your loved ones. You never know what people are going through in life. And a simple, hey, how are you doing, can change everything. R.I.P. Rondell Moore. We will see you tomorrow night right back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select